We bought this 507 edition C63 4 months ago, sight unseen, as we do with all of our cars. Except this time, we thought we got an amazing deal as this one was not physically crashed. But as you're about to witness in this video, so much can go wrong with a car, even if it was never crashed.
Very, very high. Get closer. Yeah, just get closer. Yeah. You can see it.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So, for a little bit of background on what happened, we were cruising along, everything was just fine. Jake put his foot down just a little bit, and all of a sudden, as you saw in the previous clip, the temp started shooting up to around 123 degrees Celsius or 253 degrees Fahrenheit for you American viewers. And no matter what we did, it would overheat again and again and again, which resulted in us needing to call a tow truck as we couldn't drive 100 meters without the car overheating.
Big issue with the car. We think it's a head gasket, so that's a big job. But yeah, man, temperatures rise like crazy and wouldn't go down, went into a limp mode. So yeah, that didn't last very long. Rest in peace, AMG.
Our best guess as to what went wrong at the time was a head gasket. If you don't know what a head gasket does, it basically seals the engine's combustion chamber, which is comprised of two parts: the cylinder head at the top and the bottom of the block, so that your car can build the appropriate compression that is needed to maintain your engine's power. Now, the reason we believe it's the head gasket in our case is because when the seal between the heads is broken, it means that the exhaust gas is escaping through that hole instead of completing the full cycle. This means the oil used as lubrication for the piston escapes through the head gasket into the coolant as the coolant runs through the block. This results in a brown, milky-like coolant, which is the oil getting mixed with the coolant as the oil seeps out. But let's not guess right away, and let's get to finding out what is actually wrong with this thing.
Alright, time to see what's wrong with this thing.
So this is our All-Tell tool, and it's sort of like a little computer that tells us lots of information based on the car we plug it into. In this case, we're interested to see what it's able to read in regards to the overheating. As you can see, it doesn't seem to tell us much other than what we already know. So the next plan of action is to do a head gasket test, but before that we need to get the car warm, so let's get a cold start going. So, for a quick rundown of how this test works, you put this blue liquid into the tube, you then put it over the coolant overflow, and if it turns yellow, that means your head gasket is blown.
Basically, if this goes yellow, that means there's combustion gas getting into it, obviously, which means it's a blown head gasket. So yeah, hopefully it stays blue. We've got it running, warming up, but there's a weird noise coming. It sounds like almost it could be a pulley or something. So yeah, we're just gonna let it warm up and try this test, but hopefully it could be nothing.
Now, for those of you that don't know, like we explained before, the head gasket lies between the head of the engine and the block. So replacing a head gasket requires us to remove both heads of the engine, as this is a V8, meaning it has not one but two heads, which in this case is a massive job, and we really hope that isn't the case.
So far so good, we're not getting any change in colour yet. Can't speak too soon though. We're at temp 69. Water temp 69. 70 now. Last night that was at 120. It's pretty scary. It threw me out of manual mode. It was really not the best thing ever, but thankfully we got it home thanks to the tow truck. But Yeah, would not have been safe to drive this thing home. Still blue, and we're at 80 degrees Celsius right now, so I mean, so far so good, but probably needs to get a bit hotter before we really can know. Now we're at about 87, 88 to be precise. Well, that's operating temps. 88 is, I'm pretty sure it's 88 to, or it might be 90 to 92, around that sort of mark for normal regular driving is your operating temps. So we're at that, and from what I can see, it's still blue. So let's not get our hopes up too hard. Alright guys, we've had this thing running for a while now, and it's not yellow at all. Yeah, that's still blue. It'd go a bright yellow, quite a bright yellow if it was that. So we might be in luck here, and this engine might be okay. We might not have to do a full rebuild.
So based off of that information, there was only one clear explanation as to why the car was overheating, and that is the thermostat. So, to explain why we believe it's the thermostat, you first need to know how a thermostat works. And it's actually quite simple. The thermostat is essentially a valve that is situated between the engine and the radiator. When the coolant is too warm or the car gets to operating temp, the valve opens and lets the hot coolant through to the radiator, where it is cooled down. It's that simple. So in our situation, the reason we believe it's that is because of the way the car overheats. It isn't gradual. Instead, it overheats pretty much the minute you drive it or give it any throttle.
Just from tapping the throttle slightly, we're at 121. It's ridiculous.
Which means the thermostat might not be opening, it's stuck closed.
Alright, so we got this thing back in the workshop again after all this time back. But whatever, we bought a new thermostat because that's the cheapest option of what it could be, and so we might as well replace it. So this might fix the issue, it might not. We're also going to change the number plate because the job that we did, it was just temporary, and yeah, it's not meant to be forever. It looks not the best, but yeah, so we got this new thermostat, gonna put this on, get it in the air, drop the coolant, change the coolant, and yeah, Christian isn't here today, he's busy, but my dad's gonna be helping me instead, so yeah, here we go, fixing this thing, getting it back on the road, come on. Alright, got her back up in the air, thought last time would be the last time, but it turns out, nope. It had other plans, but gonna drop the under tray, drop the coolant like I said, and yeah, see if we can get this thing back running again, because I've missed it, man. It's been like, I don't know, it's been like almost a month now since it died, and we just haven't had time to fix it, but gonna fix it now. Finally get this thing back on the road. Alright, so the under tray is off, and we're just having a look around. That plug there, the oil plug, was leaking a little bit, so we just tightened that up, and then located what we think is where you drain the rad, which is right there. Gonna drain that, see what it looks like. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. And yeah, so just undo this. At least that doesn't look like it's full of oil, really. It's relatively green, so we're off to a good start.
Yeah, I reckon it's just old coolant.
Yeah, just old coolant, I reckon.
Yeah.
Go, old one is off, getting ready for the new one to go on. Over here, got the brand new piece straight from Mercedes. Hopefully that was the issue and the car doesn't overheat anymore. That'd be awesome. Alright, so we got the new one back in place. That bottom bolt was really hard to get to, but we used a magnetic screwdriver with a magnetic Torx piece on the end. And yeah, managed to get it on. It was a bit of a struggle, but did it. And now I'm going to tighten up and find out if that fixed the issue. Alright, we've put everything back together, got the power steering back on, got all the clips with the hoses. The hoses are all in the clips now. And yeah, we're good to go. Alright guys, so we're doing a vacuum test now on the whole coolant system. And as you can see, all of the hoses have gone flat because they're all under vacuum. And that shows us that means that there's no leak in the system. Because we hold a vacuum, which means there's no leak in the system and it's all running well, which means it's not a head gasket issue, which is what we really didn't want. It's sitting at, what's that, minus 24 psi. And yeah, it's all looking good. Then we're gonna pump all the coolant back in through this hose here. We're gonna prime it first, and then it'll suck all of the coolant in after we prime it and get it all ready. But yeah, it's all looking up. Now sucking all the coolant through into the car. Alright guys, we got the car back up and running again. Now we're running some tests just to see if it will hold a good temp. It should hold it, it shouldn't really hit 90 at idle. So we're gonna see how it goes. Still sitting at 70. Not crazy high. Oh, the water's 88. Whoops. I was looking at the wrong number there. 88. So that the thermostat should open, but it's hit 91. That's high. I don't know about this. 91 is pretty high for idle. Should be cooling itself down. 90. Oh, let me get that. Is that focused? Is that focused? Yeah, it's focused. Sitting at 90 on idle, it's not terrible. It's not bad. I feel like it should be 88. But it's not going crazy high. We might have fixed it, but I don't know. We might not have. I mean, I guess the way to figure out another way would just be to rev it, and it'll definitely get hot then, so we could try that. Alright guys, so we got it off the lift. Gonna take it for a drive now and see if we've fixed the issue. I really hope we have. I'm not too sure because, I mean, 94 is not too bad at idle because we were just sitting still, so it's not really getting any good air. It's not too bad, but we'll see if we fixed it. Let's hope so. Well, that definitely did not fix it. Definitely didn't fix it. Went for a little drive around the block and basically shot up really, like it was sitting at about 95. I was just driving normally, maybe doing about 50 kilometers an hour. Just driving normally. It was sitting about 95. I thought it was a bit high, but I was like, you know what, it could just be hot. Then I went up to, didn't even put my foot down, went up to about 70, shoots up to 95, then shoots straight from 95 to 100, straight from 100 to 105, and then it just got hotter and hotter as I was pulling back into the warehouse. Hit 120, I believe, and yeah, so that is not what you want to see. Clearly it's not a thermostat, and the thing is, it shot down, the temp went down so quickly, and that kind of points towards a head gasket, because obviously once the engine's off, the heat source is removed, which means it is just going to get cold because it's cooling properly at that point. So that's not a good sign. So don't think we fixed the problem. Well, no, I know we didn't fix the problem. It doesn't work. Still gets really hot. We just tried to do a compression test and the tool we were using wouldn't let us do it, so that's not happening. So the only thing left to do is really do like a manual compression test, and then that'll tell us which like bank the problem is in, but pretty sure it's probably a head gasket, which is awesome.
Now by this point we were almost ready to say it was a head gasket, which is a massive job, meaning the car would be off the road for months. But with this generation of the M156 engine, the head gasket really should not be an issue. So as a last resort, there was only one more thing we could do to really confirm if it was indeed the head gasket, and that was a gas test on the coolant system. So let's get to it.
Alright guys, so we're back again. We're gonna do another, what's it called? What sort of test is it? It's
We're going to do a gas test on the coolant system.
another gas test. We're gonna drain a bit of the coolant so we can like let it really test it. because we want to really be sure it's a head gasket. If it is a head, like we really just want to know, because it could be also a blocked radiator. That's another possibility, or a water pump, or both. So just want to really cross off all the boxes, and yeah, obviously we've already done the thermostat, so that's off the list. It's clearly not that. So we hope it's a blocked radiator. Usually the head gasket on this engine, I mean, it shouldn't really blow. I mean, this engine's so strong. And also, you'd think with a head gasket, since you're losing compression, you would get a misfire, and this does not have a misfire. This is like, it's running fine. Alright, so obviously for this test, we need the engine to get a little bit warm. So I'm gonna start it up, get it warm. And yeah, first start up in like a little while. See if it still sounds good. Pretty loud still. Jesus. Top up coolant. It's because we just took some out. Don't worry. Now we're gonna watch that hit the moon. 'Cause something is stuffed. Man, though, we missed this car, man. Driving this thing was so good. It's honestly one of the, like, most, like, has so much soul, this car. It's one of the best NAV8s, I think, in my opinion. Definitely one of the best NAV8s. Especially German. German NAV8s, I reckon this is the best one. Maybe the E92 M3, that's up there as well. We want to build one of them in the future, because that is a sick car as well. This thing's definitely quicker though. So, there's that. And when you supercharge this thing, they are monsters. They're ridiculously fast. Just doing a few rev tests to get a bit of movement of the water. We're going to take it up to 3 or 4K to see if we get a bit of movement of the water. See if there's any bubbles or anything like that. Like an actual rev? There is water movement, so that means 92. It's sitting at 92, that's what it should really be at. I mean, that's still high though. I feel like that's high for idle. Like, on this car, I swear it was about 88 to 91, or maybe it is to 92, but still, it's at the highest it can be. Round 2 on the test, see if it changes this time. Dad's pumping it up. Still blue. No combustion gas yet. Still very, very blue. Just don't see it being a head gasket, but probably is. Yeah, this is the second test. Like, it's both times it's telling us no, but unless we bought the worst test in the world, I don't know what's. It didn't seem too bad, but I think we're good.
Did you get off Timu?
No, I didn't get it off Timu. 93 still, we're still at 93. I don't know if you can see because my tint is so dark, but we're at 93. Also, for when this car is done, what wheels do you reckon we should get? You reckon we should get the 507 rims? Because, I mean, that's what it needs to have. It's going to have the stripe eventually as well, by the way. But, I reckon probably 507 rims. Black, I think some sort of black rims, because it needs to match with the roof. And I feel like black will just tie it together better. Make it look more AMG. These rims are good though, I do like them. But yeah, we need to get onto that, because still at 93. That is blue as.
It's blue, man. So that's that second time.
Yeah.
We're still blue. That's saying to me, it's running. There's no misfire. There's nothing going on here.
Yeah.
It's got to be a coolant related issue. What do you think?
I think you're right. It has to be a coolant related issue. There's just no way.
So,
I mean, yeah.
We've got to look at a blockage in the rad
or a water pump.
Yeah, unlikely, but I think we'll go rad first and then we'll go from there.
Yep. So we're going to try to the exhaust, see if this thing actually works. Because this should change colour.
So because the test once again did not show us any sign of a head gasket failure, we're going to try our last solution to this problem, which is checking if the radiator is blocked, as these can get pretty blocked up over time. We're also going to take a look at the water pump, as that could be another cause of this issue if it's broken. Because if you take a look at this diagram, the water pump essentially is the whole purpose for the coolant actually moving around the engine, as it's almost like a turbine, that pushes the coolant up through the engine, round and through the radiator.
Guys, so if there is a rad blocked, it'd be that one there that's blocked. So that's the one we're going to try and take off. Hose is off.
So as you can see inside the radiator hose, there looks to be just a little bit of gunk around the opening of the pipe. Now this can usually be a telltale sign that there's more to come. So let's pull off the other side of the radiator and really see what's going on here.
Alright guys, we've got a new development in the case of this vehicle. Look in there. Alright, that is a lot of gunk, that's a lot of crap. Alright? So that could be what is blocking our rad and what is making it heat up so much because it's struggling to cool. Because all that stuff is probably filled up in the rad and it's blocking the two little
Core. Basically
blocking the core.
Little veins.
We could be onto something here. That is like the first sign we've seen. And that does not look nice. Fan is off. And now we got a bit of a better view and time to get this thing out. Jesus! Finally! That took like an hour. Right guys, this could be the thing that's overheating this car. God damn. Alright, so, what have we done, Chris?
We've taken the radiator out.
Yep.
It looks a little bit dirty. Where's the coolant? I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad when we got it out.
So there is a chance it could be clogged up, based on if you look in here.
Yeah, like this.
That's not very good. But because of how quickly it happened, we're not 100% sure that it's the radiator that's clogged.
Yeah, because surely that would it'd build up over time. Like it wouldn't just be like that.
Yeah, exactly. It happened like it was a switch.
Yeah.
So it could very well be that the water pump rotor or blades.
Turbine or propeller? Propeller.
Yeah, the water pump propeller could have spun itself off or broke.
Impeller.
Okay.
Impeller, not.
The water pump impeller could have spun off or broken, and that's why there's no coolant getting pushed around the system.
So what are we going to do now?
What are we going to do? We're going to
take off everything.
We're going to take off everything.
Everything at the front. So
Yeah.
all that stuff. Water pump completely. And the serpentine belt.
We're going to swap all the belts.
All the belts. Just one. It's
Well, not the
there's only
belts, the
one belt.
pulleys.
All the pulleys.
All the pulleys.
Taking the belt off, taking the tension off, and now we're just going to rip off the belt that we put on. The new belts that we put on is already coming off because the car has already died. Look at that. Don't buy a Mercedes.
So now that the belt was off and we could access the water pump, it was finally time for the moment of truth. Is the water pump broken?
Alright guys, moment of truth. Here is the water pump. If it is damaged, obviously we know the cause. So let's find out. Damn, it's hot. Okay, let's come and have a look in the light, Alright. It doesn't look damaged, but I think I found it. When you spin that, look, it doesn't move. You see that?
See the fins in there?
See the fins? They're not moving. When I spin it, that means the water pump's gone. That's what it is.
It's the water pump.
It's not the head gasket. Thank the Lord. Oh my God, that is amazing. Wow. It's just the water pump, guys. That is, when I spinning it, those things inside, it's not moving. They're just...
The fins have actually separated from...
Yeah, they're broken.
pulley.
It's actually broken. Jesus, how does that happen? It just from that one, like I was given a bit on the night. So that one thing must have just sheared it, pretty much. which I didn't think that would happen. Neither did my dad. He really didn't think it was the water pump. But wow, not the head gasket. No need for a full top end rebuild. Wow, awesome. That is honestly the best news ever, isn't it, Chris?
That is the best news ever.
God
Couldn't
damn.
have asked for more. Now it doesn't have to be off the road for 6 months.
Alright guys, that's that. We've finally found the issue with this car. Hopefully that's one of the last issues. Clearly it was the water pump that was causing the overheating. So now it's time to just get a new water pump, put that on, make sure the car's all good to get back on the road, and then put it all on in the next video, because I think we've run out of time on this one. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.
If you guys enjoy our content and what we do here, and you'd like to see more in the future, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because it helps a little channel like us out a hell of a lot more than you guys realize. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video, and yeah, let's prepare ourselves for next week's video.